the role of a nucleus in a cell. We've seen where the nucleus is found, where it is located in the cell. We know that it is important. But then we have to now discuss what actually is the role, or is it just a single role, or how many roles, or what are the functions, right? So let us try to learn this under this topic, role of nucleus in a cell. Nucleus contains the genetic information for the cell and for the whole organism. This genetic information is in the form of DNA, right? DNA is the blueprint of any organism. This is the nucleus, the chromatin, nucleolus, nuclear pore, and nuclear envelope. Its function is to control the cell's metabolism and the cell activities. So it functions as a control center of the cell, as it is able to control the cell's metabolism, all the metabolic processes that are taking place in the cell, and all the cellular activities that are happening in the cell. It can control every single thing. Now, ribosomes are formed by the nucleolus, which is a part of the nucleus. That we've been learning that we've learned this many a times, like we've heard this, that proteins are the building blocks of life, right? Now, from where does this protein come from? They come from ribosomes. And you know what? These ribosomes are formed inside the nucleolus. And you know what? The nucleolus is present inside the nucleus. Yes. Ribosomes are formed by the nucleolus, which is an essential part of, which is a part of the nucleus. Nucleus is responsible for cell differentiation, meaning which cell will be given what job, whether this is going to be a blood cell or a muscle cell or a bone cell or a nerve cell, what cell it is going to be, what duty will it be doing later on once it is developed, once it is matured. So nucleus is responsible for the cell differentiation. This helps the cell to attain specific structure. The specific structure which will help the cell to do that very particular function or job properly. For example, you know that in animals, the longest cell is the human nerve cell. So in animals, the longest cell is the nerve cell, right? The nerve cell has a peculiar structure. Who decides that? That is decided, that differentiation that is taken care by the nucleus. Again, division of the nucleus is essential for cell division. We know that we have seen a lot of cell divisions, like for example, a normal cell division, right? In a normal cell division, the cell firstly starts dividing from the cytoplasm and then from the nucleus, because the nucleus contains that genetic material which has to be copied or divided, and that has to be in the other better half of that divided cell or that component, that newly divided cell. So division of nucleus is very essential for the cell division. Reshuffling of the chromosomes and changes in the genes produce variations. We know that when the chromosomes reshuffle and the genes also, they change, because of the reshuffling of the chromosome, the genes will, the locations will be changing, the orientation, reshuffling of the chromosomes basically lead to changes in the genes which produce variations. That sexual reproduction is a very good example wherein we happen to see very good variations. There are a lot of variations, right? We happen to see changes. That is not possible, that is not very often seen in asexual reproduction, because in asexual reproduction it is just the DNA is being copied, right? Exactly. Then what variations can happen there? It's just like a very small probability wherein few copying errors might happen, and those can be the variations. But that is not the case with sexual reproduction, wherein there are two parents involved. So there, since there are two parents involved and there is this difference in the genetics and genes, when they combine, they recombine, and they cross over, and they, when they cross, when they come together, they tend to make different combinations which result into different variations.